I strongly believe the traditional resume we use since I don't know how many years, where we list all our educational background, all the certificates we have, all the jobs we've had, all the projects we've done. I think that format is actually on its way out. Number one, the technology, the situation, the markets, they're changing so drastically that something you've done maybe 4 or 5 years back as well may not be even relevant today. Here is how things have changed drastically. Imagine how in the enterprise environment the reporting used to happen. A few years back, the reporting would happen even on a monthly basis at some customers. Some places the reporting would actually happen on a weekly basis. Somebody sits down, pulls all the data together on a PowerPoint and Excel sheets and present that data out to people and make those changes. So that itself used to be a work stream where people are sitting down preparing reports because reporting is such a big part of it. That whole thing is already out of the window. There are tools like Power BI, Tableau, hooking all of those systems properly. You don't need somebody to sit down and prepare reports. Those are all real-time reports available today. So the whole way somebody managed a project, communicated the status, has completely changed from how it used to be even 5 years back or 4 years back. So when somebody talks about it on their resume, how is it any more relevant? Similarly, collaboration. Somebody running projects and a senior leader being an expert at creating collaboration within the teams. If in today's terms, in today's times, they do not know how to use Slack, they don't know how to use Google Workspaces, they don't know how to use the Microsoft Teams and that entire landscape to bring teams together, to create meetings, to share the documents which are being created together, and all the modern tools which are available, it becomes almost irrelevant. It's like living in the past. So those are two examples which actually tell us that even if you're mentioning some of those details on your resume is actually talking about the past. And in a modern context, all of those may not even be relevant anymore. Number two, when you talk about what skills or what have you learned, what do you know, that doesn't actually tell the prospective employer anything if you can deliver results using technologies, that knowledge. So in essence, can you apply that knowledge? Examples, a student talks about that they have done fantastically well at their college in the marketing course. But that doesn't really tell anybody if the person understands today's marketing landscape, today's social media landscape. How do you persuade a customer? Have you done any real work? Or if you were to given some real work, do you have any understanding of that work? Example number two, generative AI is very fashionable today. Everybody talks about generative AI and doing those certificates. But having that certificate doesn't really tell you how can you apply this generative AI in your work life. You are a project manager. What are you going to do with Gen AI? You are a developer. How are you going to apply Gen AI to your stream of work? The future is going to be all about what you can do, not about what you've done or what you know. If you are a developer, instead of showcasing that your latest language, can you actually show an example of how you've built an app using that language? If you are a student of marketing, like the example I took, rather than just talking about the GPA you secured, it would be great to showcase an example or the understanding of, hey, I know how to run a marketing campaign or a social media campaign, or I know how to optimize one of these campaigns to improve engagement in terms of customers. If you are somebody who's showcasing they have the Gen AI certificate acquired recently, instead of that, it would be more helpful to showcase what will you do with this Gen AI knowledge. Can you create amazing presentations which are going to take the breath away of somebody? Are you going to be making those amazing proposals which are going to win you more bids? Are you going to be able to save tons and tons of time doing the job what you are doing today? So somewhere you have to be able to showcase the value what you can create rather than living in the past. Even if you see this example, this video itself is an example of what I can do. Rather than talking about that I manage CXOs, I've managed large portfolio of customers and P&L of companies. When I have these videos come out, this is an example of how I can communicate on the stage, what my presence would feel like in front of an audience, how I can talk about variety of subjects. So more than claiming something you've done which nobody can quantify, the future of the resume of the future is going to be all about showcasing your work and showing what you can do. Thank you, and I hope this inspires all of you to make some changes, bring some level of show and tell in your work stream,